What's up, guys? Classy Metal here. It's been like 2 weeks. I apologize. Have had a ton of stuff going on. Been working all the time. Been under the weather. I know I say that all the time as well. It seems like I always, at least every 6 months, it feels like I come down with a sinus infection just from hell, and it sucks. Had a reaction to the antibiotics. All that crap's over with now, so I'm back. I've got a ton of stuff. I'm not going to show it all in this video. As I said before, I'm already behind. I've been behind. I stay behind on making these videos. So maybe one day, someday, I'll have a job where I actually have time off and can record these videos and get this stuff done and show you guys everything I want to show you in the time frame that I want to show it. Because, like I said, I always feel like I'm just behind. I'm going to show a little small, well, it's not too small, a fairly decent sized stack of stuff that I've gotten here recently. The first few I'm going to show all came from Bandcamp. They are all 2018 releases, and they're all fantastic. First up, well, this one actually didn't come from Bandcamp. It was a pre-order. I guess the next two were from Bandcamp. I ordered this straight from Bindrune. This is the newest release from Panopticon, titled, it's a long title, The Scars of Man on the Once Nameless Wilderness, Part 1 and 2. If you're not familiar with Panopticon, they're an atmospheric black metal band out of Kentucky. Fantastic black metal, just a modern black metal band. Very trend-setting black metal. Fantastic stuff. If you're into black metal at all, you probably know who Panopticon are. This is the 2 CD set, special edition. It was limited to, I want to say 150, possibly 300. I can't remember how many in this slipcase version we're limited to, but it has both albums. The Scars of Man on the Once Nameless Wilderness Part 1 and Part 2 in this. It's a fantastic packaging job. I believe you can still pick up the albums separately, the 2 separate albums, on the Bindrune site, so definitely go do that. They may still have the CD set available, but I think it sold out. I know the vinyl uh, box set sold out pretty quick, but I believe they have the individual albums. You can purchase Volume 1 or Volume 2 on its own. They went all out on this. I've seen some people unbox the vinyl version as well, and it was fantastically packaged. You get this nice little slip case to start things off. That's the back. I already showed the front, but I'll show it again. Very this artwork is all over Panopticon's type stuff. It reminds me some of Falls of Rorros as well. The artwork, that whole Bindrune family, I guess, is just tight knit, have a lot of the same stuff going on. This is part 1, which is black metal. It is Panopticon is almost in a genre of their own. I'm sorry, I had a block up, a pop up jump up on my screen. I had to block that off real quick. Apologize for that. As I was saying, Panopticon, they're in a, there's so much going on in their music. It's hard to just pigeonhole them into one particular facet of black metal. They have some Americana kind of folky stuff, almost, I don't want to say country, but has that Americana vibe going on in this part 2. Part 1, black metal, just nothing out of the ordinary for Panopticon, but there is so much depth to this first disc. I have to listen to it. I have my Sennheiser headphones, and I made sure to listen to this one with those Sennheisers on, and I found myself turning it up each listen. I've listened to this probably 10 times. It's 2 hours between the 2 discs. I have to have listened to this at least 10 times already, and I find myself turning the volume up because there is so much going on, so much depth to this album that I find myself picking up pieces that I've missed upon my first listen or the previous listen. As I said, you got more of this nature artwork going on. Just a beautiful, beautiful job on the packaging on this. My hat is off to Marty over at Bindrune for being a part of this and help getting this out, because this is a fantastic release. This is, for me, the album to beat so far in 2018. Nothing I've heard has come close. Here's the booklet from part 1. I'm not going to go just too much through it, but it has, I mean, just pick one of these up for yourself. If you're into Panopticon, do yourself a favor. It's got so much nice artwork in this. It has the slipcase kind of type deal, but I will say my hat is off to them over at Beinrune in Norvis for it has the little slipcase. A lot of labels and stuff will just throw the disc straight in that, and it gets butchered up, gets scraped up. They have their own separate little slipcase inside of the slipcase for the disc, so helps protect the disc just a bit more, because I hate getting stuff scratched up. Not a whole lot going on the disc itself, kind of that silver disc with the artwork, but no complaints out of me from this release whatsoever. The part 1, as I was saying, is the black metal, definitely more metal inspired than part 2, which I'll show on this. This is more of the Americana type stuff. I will say my favorite track from part 1 would have to be let me find it. Snow Burning Branches. I went blank for a moment. That was my favorite track from the part 1. Also enjoyed A Sheep in Wolf's Clothing. That was another one that I enjoyed quite a bit off this. My favorite track out of this whole 2-disc project would probably be The Moss Beneath the Snow, which was the first track on part 2. That one is the end. There's a bit of the black metal influence going into that song, and it kind of tails off into the just the stripped down Americana type music, and that's what you get for the rest of this album. The track The Moss Beneath the Snow kind of ties in the 2 parts to this release just perfectly, and you get a little taste of everything that you're going to get in this album. In this more nature type stuff going on with this. I'm already 7 minutes into this video and I'm still talking about Panopticon. I could go on about this release for hours if you guys would let me. I may do a separate video just for this release because I enjoy it that much. And it's more of the same, just fantastic artwork. I got it upside down, I'm sorry. Fantastic artwork going on in this. Amazing stuff. Just check it out if you haven't. I know I probably said that like 5 times already. As I said, album to beat so far in 2018, nothing else. Everything just kind of pales in comparison to this. The disc on part 2, it's more of this kind of snow, cabin in the snow type stuff going on. The disc is black this time with the silver lettering, so that's pretty neat how they mix it up. But it's just, you get so much depth in the first hour of this release of the first disc. There's just so much going on, so much depth, and then just to strip it down completely into that second hour, it's amazing. So much originality on this. Just, I cannot sing the praises of this release enough. I'll try to box that up later. I'm not going to keep fighting with it. The next release, this was another pre-order that came in. This one I've been waiting on for quite a while. I think there was some sort of delay. I'm so happy to finally get it. This is the new release from Sojourner, The Shadowed Land, or The Shadowed Road, sorry. Another fantastic release. This is completely different than their debut album. This is in this hardback, hardbook, digi type deal. Another release with just fantastic artwork. Just this is epic black metal. Not so much in the same direction as their first release. If you were a fan of Empires of Ash, this is going to be completely different to you. The artwork on the disc is phenomenal on that as well. It almost doesn't even sound like the same band from the debut album. There's a lot more. The black metal elements are still there. The atmospheric black metal is there. The epic black metal sound is also there. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of doom influence on this. I see a definite bit of modern day draconian doom going on. There's also a bit of melodic death metal going on in this as well. It's a very well-rounded album. I heard some people complain about this. I think they were taking a little bit taken aback, I would say, because the sound is so drastically different from the first release. I enjoy this quite a bit. I enjoy that the band had the balls to do something like this, to just go in the direction that their hearts were going, and just produce something that they wanted to produce. I know it took some people by surprise. It took me by surprise. At first listen, I wasn't quite sure how I felt about it. I've listened to it about 3 or 4 times now, and it's really grown on me. And I may like it a bit more than the predecessor now, which is saying a lot. So definitely check that out if you haven't. If you heard the first release, just keep in mind it is different. Next up, we have some melodic death metal out of Tennessee, where I'm from. This is Inferi, I guess is how you pronounce it, with Revenant. So I said this is melodic death metal. This is a band that's apparently been around for a bit, and this was my introduction into the band. I got on Bandcamp and I saw that artwork, and I've been seeing this artwork around through Facebook and some other groups, Instagram, and some other things platforms that I'm on. And I thought it was some interesting looking artwork. And when I saw on Bandcamp, I gave it a listen. This was phenomenal, just blistering melodic death metal. And the fact that they're from my state, the capital city, Nashville of Tennessee, and I had no idea these guys were around, kind of blew me away. The artwork on this, I love. Fantastic. Melodic death metal. Definitely check that out if you haven't. It's on the Artisan Era label. They also threw in a Artisan Era sampler CD. Haven't had a chance to listen to this yet. It has a couple bands that I am familiar with. Enfold Darkness is on here. That's another band out of Tennessee. Inanimate Existence is on this as well. So definitely some stuff on here. Looking forward to checking this out to kind of find some new albums and stuff going on. The next several albums I'm going to show were all eBay purchases. Some of this stuff has been out for a while. I was filling some holes in the collection and just kind of finding some stuff that I wanted. First up, we have Vesperian Sorrow. If you saw the Transcending Records unboxing I did a while back, you saw me get the newest reissue from these guys. This is I believe this is their debut album. This is a first press. This is Vesperian Sorrow with Beyond the Cursed Eclipse. Sorry, my mouth's already getting dry. That Panopticon album wore me out. I'm already feeling the pains and can tell that I haven't been doing these videos like I should. Like I said, this is another I haven't said. This is a black metal band, symphonic black metal band out of Texas. Fantastic stuff. Love Vesperian Sorrow. Definitely check them out if you haven't done that already. The next two are power metal. I ordered these together. This was another little eBay lot. This was first one was a disc that I've been looking for quite some time. Glad to get my hands on it. This is a Pyramaze with Legend of the Bone Carver. This is my favorite release from this band. The whole album is put together to tell a story. It's kind of a concept album. Sometimes concept albums are hit or miss, but this one is done and crafted quite well. And it just tells the story in a way that just keeps me personally enthralled in the story, and I love it. I love the female vocals. I love the male vocals. It's just fantastic stuff going on this. The next up is the debut from this band, and this was actually autographed. I had no idea it was autographed when I got it, so that was a neat little bonus, I guess. This is Melancholy Beast. I haven't listened to this one enough to really give a just complete rundown on the album. I enjoyed what I've heard so far, but I've gotten so much new stuff in that I just haven't given this the proper time that I need to just cast judgment on it. But I thought it was pretty neat that it was autographed. So definitely glad to have that in the collection now. The next two are a technical death metal band, and I am pretty sure these are bootlegs. I ordered these, and the price for the originals on these go for so high. And I got such a good deal on these that I was kind of iffy about them to begin with, and then I saw that they came from Russia. But I will say that if they are bootlegs, they are some very, very well done bootlegs, down to the matrixing on the disc itself. They did a fantastic job. I mean, I could be wrong. They could be originals, but for as long as these albums have been out, they look just the fact that they're so pristine down to the booklets is a red flag for me. Anyway, this is a Gorguts with the Erosion of Sanity. I love Gorguts. I actually own this in a digipack format, and I saw that this was up for sale. And I was like, man, I don't have an original. I would love to have one. And I ordered it, and I got to looking at it. As you can see, they went all out on this. pretty positive that it's a bootleg though. Just the red flags that I got from it. But anyway, at least the fact that it's a bootleg, it was a well done bootleg. I don't buy just too much bootleg material unless it's something that I just can't find on any other format. And next up is Considered Dead by Gorguts. I know that glare is not helping matters there, but this was the one that I've been searching for, and I've seen it go on Discogs for $100, and I just didn't want to spend that kind of money on it. So I saw this pop up and I bought it, but as I said, I'm pretty sure that was a bootleg. The next up is some stuff that I got from eStocks. I like to kind of stalk eStocks a little bit. Sometimes you get things on there for $5, $6. They don't really know how to price their stuff. You get things for $5 or $6 that they could easily sell for twice that. So anyway, first up is some metalcore. This was on Media Scare back in 2010, kind of MySpace era, end of MySpace era, I guess. Metalcore, deathcore type stuff. This is Blind Witness with Nightmare on Providence Street. I believe I've actually shown a copy of this on this channel before. I sold my copy when my wife had surgery a year or two ago, and I've been searching for it ever since. But this CD goes for a pretty decent little chunk of change. I saw this pop up on eStocks. The case was broke. I saw it pop up on eStocks for $5.99, so I went ahead and picked myself up a copy again because I had been missing having my own copy. As I said, these were all from eStocks. Next up, we have a Darkthrone with Plague Wielder. This is the Digipack version. Fantastic stuff. Definitely filled a gap in the collection that I needed filled. Next up is an album that was met with kind of mixed reviews when it was released. This is Mayhem with Grand Declaration of War. This was released, I think, in 2000 and I don't remember. It doesn't say on the back of this. But anyway, I know there were some out there that did not like this release at all. I think it's okay. I don't hate it, I guess is a good way to put that. So there we go. Next up, switching gears a little bit, this is some death metal. This is the self-titled from Cryptopsy. As I said, this is another one that I picked up on eStocks for $5.99. Fantastic stuff. Not as good as old Cryptopsy, but still not a bad listen. Still have the little bat and the artwork going on there on the disc. Apologize, my throat's getting dry. Sore throat's kind of coming back, so I'm going to wrap this up. I'll show one more, and that I've already at 18 minutes. I wasted too much time on Panopticon, but I don't feel like it was time wasted. Next up, throw to the shirt here. TYR, Tier, however you want to pronounce it. This is By the Light of the Northern Star. Fantastic folk metal type stuff. Great stuff. And another, I thought, great deal for $5.99. So that's all for this. If there's something on here that you didn't quite pick up the name or something you want to know, feel free to let me know. I'll find a stream or something, direct you in a way so you can check it out for yourself. I thank you guys for watching. I'm almost at 900 subs, so that's awesome. I don't know why you guys are subbing. I've gotten quite a few lately. Thank you, Full Metal Ginger, for that shout out that you gave me not too long ago on your latest video. That's all I've got for today. Metalhead box should be in sometime this week. I have a final package coming from Magic Bullet Records. I've gotten 3 in the past 3 weeks. This should be the last of all of those. So I've kind of bought up a huge chunk of their discography in their liquidation, as they're no longer a label. They did a liquidation sale, and I picked up all kinds of stuff. Still have a package I need to send out to Bono. Bono, I'm slacking. I'm sorry. It's on the way. And I have a package going out to Count Blagreth as well. So anyway, that's all. That's, I guess, a little bit of a heads up of things coming in the near future. That's all I've got for today. Stay classy, stay metal, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. I promise.